Yeah, man, we getting right into it, man. You know what I mean? No introduction is even needed, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, how to avoid bullshit while you in prison. You understand me? Part two. You know what I mean? I told you, man, no affiliation, no communication with homosexuals. I told you, man, no gambling. And I told you this. This is like gonna be the main thing over everything that I'm going to say, even the additional things that I'm going to say today. Above everything, mind your own damn business. Mind your own motherfucking business, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like we used to say, man, if you mind your own, man, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to find your own, man. You don't have to find your way in other people's business. Why? Because you too motherfucking busy minding your own. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into it right now. No borrowing. There will be no borrowing. Like my nigga, you know what I'm saying, from the Bay, you know what I mean, he touched on that. There's a lot of things that I wanted to say in my last video, but I'd already talked to y'all for 22 minutes, man. I don't be trying to talk your head off. It's so much that I want to say, but I know a lot of y'all got a short attention span, so I try to get as much as I can while I can. But, yeah, man, no borrowing. You know, I've seen that borrowing shit. You know what I mean, man? I seen that borrowing shit get niggas' head knocked the fuck off. I seen that borrowing shit get niggas jumped on. I seen that borrowing shit, man, get niggas, you understand me, rolled the fuck up and put in PC. Please, man, by all means, man, abstain and refrain from borrowing. I don't give a fuck if you don't got no currency. And currently right now you don't have no commissary. It does, man, borrowing from another man is not necessary. You know, especially if you don't know the nigga from the streets. He not your family member. You ain't, you know what I mean, never broke bread. You know what I'm saying, with this nigga like Jesus said on the streets. Hey, man, leave that man alone, man. Let him have his own shit. That go for magazines, food, you know what I'm saying, radio. Oh, man, I remember when a nigga got his motherfucking ass beat so motherfucking bad for scratching up a nigga's CD. Yes. A nigga got his motherfucking brain. The OG became a brain surgeon. You understand me? And switched that nigga brain. You know what I'm saying? Into another motherfucking brain. All because the nigga had scratched up his motherfucking CD. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that you gonna know, man, in them prison yards, if a nigga ain't never heard All Eyes on Me, he ain't never been on the yard. That's just being real. You know what I mean? Because every OG, it seems like every lifer, they going to have All Eyes on Me. They going to have Life Jennings. They going to have some Scarface up in there. But, man, it just seemed like all the OGs, they going to have All Eyes on Me. And that Life Jennings, man, you know what I mean? Especially on that High Desert Yard. But, yeah, man, he had let the little young nigga, you know what I'm saying? They was from the same set. You know what I mean? OG. You know what I'm saying? That's how you young you motherfuckers from Vegas, you already know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean? The older nigga was a GQ. And the younger nigga, you know what I'm saying, he was, you know, from Donna. You know what I mean? Because that's what it evolved into. But originally, you know what I mean, before it turned into Donna Crib, you know what I'm saying, it was motherfucking GQs. So, you know what I mean, OG set up there, man, gave that nigga a punkin' head over a scratch on his CD. And really because the young nigga tried to lie about the shit. That's really, if I'm going to go into detail about the shit. But it all could have been avoided if he had not even borrowed the CD. You don't need to listen to that music that motherfucking bad, man. You'll hear Pac when you get back out. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, what motherfuckers got to understand is how you value something, the next man, his value of that might not be equivalent to that. So, you know what I'm saying? The same go the other way around too. Not just don't borrow nothing, but you know what I mean? You got to think first before you allow a motherfucker to borrow your shit. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a lifer or especially you doing time. If you doing more than 5 years, you know what I'm saying, or 10, 15, 20, but especially over a 5-year period, hey, man, your shit is precious. These is like antiques. These is motherfucking trophies, nigga. You know what I mean? Don't be scratching my shit. Don't be, I better not see no fingerprints on none of that shit because, see, the OGs, the real motherfucking OGs, hey, man, the OGs like to listen to Tony. The OGs like to listen to Mint Condition. The OGs like to listen to Teddy Pendergrass, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, you know what I mean, Donny Hathaway, and they like to sit down, you know what I mean, while they got their headphones on, you dig, and they about to get that paper and that pen, and they about to sit up there, you understand me, and Mac, you know what I'm saying, for the commissary, man. I done seen some cold gangsters, man, you know what I mean, shout out to the Crips and the motherfucking Bloods. I done seen Crips Bloods, OG Crips and Bloods that didn't even really have a pimp bone in their body. But if a nigga books was empty, nigga ain't got no motherfucking money on his books, hey man, motherfucker really about to sit up there and get real mackish than a motherfucker. Niggas about to turn on some smooth R&B, you know what I'm saying, and reminisce in retrospect about times when they was on the streets, you know what I mean, to get into that motherfucking feeling. Hey man, they gonna sit up there, man, put that pen in the paper, man, and come up with some cold shit, man, to expound and say something profound, you know what I mean, to the bitch, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, I done seen niggas' books go from 0, you know what I mean, to having a cool number in front with a few zeros behind it, man, you know what I'm saying? All because they was listening to that Good Men Condition, man. They was listening to, you know what I mean, the OJs and shit like that, man. And that last night, me and my girl, you know what I mean, cried together, and them niggas sit up there and write shit. Hey, I don't want to get arrogant. I don't want to put myself, you know what I mean, in the heavens, but nigga, I was so motherfucking cold and spitting some of the best game that you've ever heard. My poetry was so cold. I had Crip niggas, Blood niggas from the Chi Mill West. All them niggas was trying to pay me to write they letters to the bitch. And I was used to sit up there and tell niggas like, listen, man, you know, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with you, but at the same particular time, man, after you give me all your soups and honey buns, man, and Kool-Aid and all that shit, man, just know that this shit is so motherfucking poetic, so prolific, that the bitch know that, you know what I mean, this not you, man. Cause this shit is just so motherfucking profound. After I stood up there and break it down, you know what I mean, the bitch gonna know that it ain't you, man, cause the shit just too smooth. You know what I mean? But niggas used to want to pay me anyway, man, to write their letters and shit. You know what I mean? I remember that some of my gangster niggas, you know what I mean, they couldn't really read or write. You know what I'm saying? I taught them how to read and write, you know what I mean, when we was incarcerated. So, you know what I mean, a lot of niggas, man, didn't get education and uncommon information until they got in incarceration. A lot of niggas was raised, that's how they evolved into being men. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you can't conform and perform into doing a successful behavior until you get informed about what that motherfucking successful behavior is. So, you know, they're not going to listen to them teachers. Some of these young niggas, they're not going to listen to teachers in school, but they're going to listen to an OG. You know what I'm saying? They're going to listen to this lifer over here, you know, telling them, you know what I mean, if you keep doing what you're doing, nigga, you're going to be in my predicament. They don't listen to him. So, you know, God know what he doing. But make a long story short, man, getting back to it, that borrowing shit, let's leave that alone, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, no affiliation and communication, you know what I'm saying, with these homosexuals, no gambling, and by all means, man, mind your own motherfucking business, but nigga, no motherfucking borrowing. And, you know, like I said, be careful on who you even allow, you know what I mean, to borrow your shit, because the next man is not going to treat your shit the way that you would have treated your shit. So, like your CDs and all that, it's good to give a motherfucker a soup every now and then, or a honey bun, look out for one of the homies from your hood, or maybe you seen this nigga, you know, on the strip or downtown or around, you know what I mean, the city, you know what I mean, he was getting money just like you, and you seen him, you know, currently without currency, you know what I'm saying, he ain't had no commissary. So, you know what I'm saying, you want to show a little love. Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean, but be careful on even who you sit up there, you understand me, and show love to too, man. Like I said, man, to avoid a misunderstanding, you know what I mean, is to have an outstanding understanding. And hopefully, man, you niggas won't have no motherfucking misunderstandings because of the outstanding understanding that I'm giving your motherfucking ass. But, yeah, man, no borrowing, and I can't even stay on this long enough. You know what I mean? No sex play. It won't be no sex playing. You know what I mean? You ain't even got to be no gangster. You ain't got to be from no organization. You ain't got to be from no gang. But nigga, if you got balls, if you got manhood, if you stand on your motherfucking principle, you not going to let no nigga sit up there and sex play you. All right? And some of these old slick, homosexual, manipulating, deceiving motherfuckers, they try to run game. And if you don't got game, you can't recognize game when it's being ran on you because you as green as a motherfucking pool table. You did. Some of you niggas was born in the States, but you still got your green card. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're green as a motherfucker, and a nigga that's gamed up, you know what I mean? Because these sissies, these motherfucking homosexuals and shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, to my 6'0" niggas, you know what I mean? No, that's not no, you know, I'm from the Chi. I had to learn that in prison too. You know what I mean? You got to also learn the lingo. Because I had said sissy in front of one of my niggas and shit. He had to pull me to the side and like, saying, man, you know, man, what's up, baby? You know what I mean? So, you know, to some 6'0s, that's disrespectful. So, you know what I mean? If you from 60s and you watching this ain't no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. I fucks with niggas from 60s, from Vegas, you know what I mean, to Cali, man. I love you niggas. But ain't gonna be no sex playing. I'll give you an example. One time we was on the yard, right? And I knew this nigga should have checked this shit, but he didn't check it. And the reason why he didn't check it, because he's so motherfucking laughing and thinking that it's a good time. And like I keep trying to tell y'all, he didn't have the game. So by him not having the game, he fell victim to basically not having the game, man. And what's the game? The game is knowledge. The scripture says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. In other words, putting it in an urban vernacular language, you know what I mean? People are being destroyed in the game for their lack of game. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, this how it go, right? So we on the yard, and these niggas get into some roasting. And, you know what I mean? For you niggas, you know what I'm saying, that's from Vegas, you know what I'm saying? You already know what I'm saying. Or even some of you Cali niggas, you know what I'm saying? You already know who I'm talking about. Motherfucker from he was from Cali 60s. This is supposed to be OG nigga. He's from 60s in Cali, and he talk instead of talking like he smokes cigarettes, the nigga basically sound like he eats cigarettes and blunts all day. His voice, nigga, I'm from 60s. What's going on, dog? That's his voice. So his voice just carried. So them niggas are sitting up there, you know what I mean, roasting each other. And I knew that he should have stopped it right then and there. But the nigga didn't, man. So I knew this shit was going to end wrong. Nigga stood up there and he say, man, shut your motherfucking ass up, nigga. You know you not no gangster. How you going to be a gangster, nigga, and you look like Jada Pinkett? Nigga talking about he from Harlem Crib. And the nigga look like Beyonce. So when that nigga sat up there and did that shit, right there, I already knew, you understand me, that this nigga gotta, you know, you gotta say something. Because if you allow a motherfucker to sit up there and make a joke like that, and you don't check it on the spot, because like the OG say, get down where you mad at. And if you don't correct the problem, all it's gonna do is exacerbate. It's gonna get bigger and greater over time. Because your motherfucking ass didn't correct the shit. And he didn't. He made some lame ass joke like, you know, nigga, you sound like you about to die, and all that's cool, but this nigga saying you look like Jada Pinkett and Beyonce, and then his last joke, this one I really knew he should have took it there. Nigga was like, nigga, shut your cute ass up. Nigga, you cute than a motherfucker with your little pretty ass. And he got all the OG niggas laughing. But by the young nigga not really having no motherfucking game, you know, he thinking this OG nigga just really sitting up there making jokes and it's all cool and it's all fun. But, you know what I mean? And of course, a lot of times, you know, people be like saying you tripping, but I knew that nigga should have checked it on the spot, and I'm going to show you why. Because after that, the same day we came out later for chow. And notice the nigga said he looked like Jada Pinkett. And I ain't gonna lie, he was a so-called little pretty boy. He's light-skinned with long hair. He looked like Lil Fiz's little brother and shit. He definitely looked like he shouldn't have been on no prison yard. You know, for you light-skinned niggas with long hair and mixed niggas and shit, you niggas gonna have it hard. You know what I mean? You gotta go extra harder. So, you know what I mean? He just looked like he didn't belong, man. You know what I mean? Nigga looked like he from the DeBarge family and shit. You on the prison yard, nigga, like, nah. But, yeah, man, you know what I mean? We coming out. And as we coming out on the tier, we about to go to child time, I hear this nigga loud as day. Nigga, you already know, nigga, you shouldn't be here, nigga. You sitting over there looking like a cute ass bitch. On 60s, cuz you already know this nigga look cute as hell with his sexy ass. And this nigga saying all of this shit. And this nigga just trying to laugh it off. And I knew right then and there that this wasn't going to be good. I didn't need nobody to really like teach me and be like, hey man, he shouldn't let him. No, it's just a man thing. You know what I mean? I'm not no gangster, but I'm a motherfucking man. You're not going to tell me I'm cute and I'm sexy and all of that shit. He was indirectly but directly speaking to that nigga because he liked this nigga. That's what it was. But so, okay. Anybody that know how High Desert is set up, when we was leaving the chow hall and coming back, you know what I mean, to go back into our cells for later on so-called free time and all that shit, we coming in, the nigga sit up there, man, the OG nigga, the so-called OG nigga, he sit up there, you know what I mean, and kind of like slid his hand on the young nigga's ass. And he like, man, what the fuck you doing, cuz? Nigga on 30s, nigga, and woo, 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 woo. But no, don't, you know, even though, yeah, he got loud with him, he like, nigga, shut your ass up. Ain't nobody even touch you. Nigga, woo, woo, woo. But all of this could have been avoided if he would have checked that shit at the door when the nigga was doing all that Beyonce and Jada Pinkett and shit. You know what I mean? Because he was indirectly but directly flirting with that nigga, trying to let that nigga know that, you know what I mean, I see you, I think you're attractive. But if you don't have no game, you gonna think that a motherfucker just being cool with you and y'all just roasting. Not so. You know what I mean? That hand being on his ass, that could have been avoided if he would have checked that shit. You know what I mean? He didn't have nobody like, I'm doing with you guys right now, telling you how to avoid bullshit while you locked up. Because the same way that you conduct yourself on the streets, would you allow a motherfucker to say anything and everything to you on the streets? See, a lot of y'all, you know what I mean, you're going to respond. You're going to physically sit up there, you know what I mean, and react with a gun. But you ain't got no gun on this prison yard. So now you a man, and you got to sit up there and check shit like a man. And if you don't, yeah, you're going to be just like him with a hand to his ass. So, of course, you know, they argued and cussed each other out and shit, and it kind of mellowed down and after that. But he would have never got that hand on his ass, and that old nigga wouldn't have never tried him like that if the nigga would have checked shit from the door. But if a motherfucker calling you Jada Pinkett and Beyonce and, you know what I mean, and all this old motherfucking fact, all this indirect, flirtatious, sexual type of shit, and you don't sit up there and react to it like a motherfucking man, nigga gonna treat you like a bitch. He gonna treat you accordingly. So that's why, you know, when they do these little documentaries about prison and everything, in my honest opinion, everybody that really kind of, most of, I ain't gonna say all, but most of the motherfuckers that got raped, that had a dick in their ass and a dick in their mouth, is because they wanted it there. You know what I mean? They didn't check that shit. Because a man not gonna sit up there, you understand me, and let that shit go down. Period. I don't care how swole a nigga is. He can have 30-inch arms. He can have a chest bigger than Tookie. But if you a motherfucking man, you're not gonna let anybody and everybody just say anything to you. And he did, and that's why he got that hand, you know what I mean, on his ass. You know what I mean? Remind me of, and I'm kind of piggying back, you know, on borrowing, because I dealt with, you know what I mean, sex play. But even that borrowing shit, I remember when a young nigga had borrowed a Playboy magazine from a so-called OG from his own set. They both was bloods. They was from niggas that know Vegas. They were from 004s, you know what I mean, from hoods. But you know what I mean? He thought that it was cool because he but this nigga don't know you. He's an old nigga. And he been doing time. And he was he was a homosexual before he got there. And like most, he using prison as justification to do what his flesh wanted to do from the beginning. So he used the fact, the Playboy magazines, he set the boy up to go inside of his room. And the way that he did it was, he like, you know what I mean, I don't like to take my magazines outside my room, so when we come out on tier, you could just go in my room and you could just look at the magazines. And his silly ass, no game having ass, goes up in the room, you know what I'm saying, and looking at magazines sitting on this nigga bed, reading magazines and shit. And the old nigga was friends with the CO nigga, because the CO nigga, he wasn't from their hood. He was, I think he was from Vegas 60s, but he was cool with the nigga from hoods. And he said, yeah, man, I'm about to roll it up. I'm about to go in early, you know what I mean? And because I got to use the bathroom. So he let the old nigga go up in his room and he closed the cell door. And the old nigga in there sitting over there having a romantic time and shit with this young nigga. All of that could have been avoided if the nigga didn't borrow shit. That's why I'm taking down time to do these videos. Because I know that after I sit up there and say everything that I'm going to say, man, it's still going to be young people doing their thing. And I don't I don't look down on them because you ain't never been there. Some of y'all ain't never been homeless. You ain't never been put in a circumstance where if a motherfucker don't do something, he not gonna eat. Or, I don't know where the roof that's gonna come over my head. Or, I've been in these clothes for 2 and 3 days. You ain't never been put in that situation. So it's easy for you to pass judgment. It's easy for you to be judgmental. It's easy for you to pass judgment. You ain't never sit up there and been in a situation to cause you to be in confinement. So, keep your little religious, self-righteous self over there. Just keep commenting in the comment section. What are you doing to empower people? What are you doing to spread the word? Are you evangelizing? Is your life a witness? Does your life have more volume to it than your religious talk? Stop it. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like I said, no sex play, no borrowing. And I'm going to speak on this before I close. Man, niggas, you already know some of y'all niggas' hygiene don't be right. You know what I mean? Some of you niggas' hygiene is the definition of contrary. Some of you motherfuckers are some funky motherfuckers and you smell like you want to be alone. Well, guess what? When you get your ass locked up, you're going to get beat the fuck up, especially if you're in a room with a lifer or a person that's a neat freak. Because them lifers and them neat freaks, they not playing that. You know what I mean? They like their room spick and span. Some of them trying to flirt with COs and come up on a good CO bitch. And how he gonna sit up there and mac to a good CO bitch or knock a bitch if his room dirty? And he got some little funky ass little youngster that didn't get taught proper hygiene by his mother and father. He gonna end up whooping your ass. One thing I can say about them essays, man, I seen a lot of weird ass shit from the Serranos and the Norteños. But one thing that I could say on their part, that if you wasn't representing, and I don't mean just ganging, if you wasn't representing as far as cleanliness, you was gonna get rolled the fuck up. They was gonna sit up there and check your motherfucking ass. And if you currently was without currency and commissary, then they gonna come together. They not like niggas. They gonna make sure you got your soups, your deodorant, your soap to wash your ass. They gonna come with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they on one accord. And if you still don't want to wash your ass, they going to beat your ass on one accord. That's how they getting down. And I respect that. Because as a grown ass man, should nobody have to preach and teach to you about how to wipe your ass. And, fucking with living with a lifer or somebody that just, they into just being clean, that could get you killed. Real talk. You'd be amazed at the slightest little things that could get you killed. So yeah, man, no sex playing, no borrowing, no walking around funky smelling like you want to be alone. Wash your ass, nigga. Otherwise, you're going to get your ass beat the fuck up. I'm saying all of this out of love. I know a lot of y'all, why you got to use profanity? And let me say this too before I close out. This is not a religious channel. I might speak about religiosity or spirituality from time to time because, I have a mind. There's other things to speak about. But, a lot of y'all, in the comment section, y'all was talking to me like I'm involved in Christianity or Islam or black. I'm not involved in no denomination or religion whatsoever. But because of what I am and what I'm involved in, it's imperative for me to study. And that's what I do. And I speak on everything, and I just give my views on everything. Does it make it right? No, it's just my little views. And this has been my view on how to avoid bullshit while prison. Value your life so you won't have to do life on the prison yard, young man. Take heed. I love you. 1.